to prepare for this match, Mirko. I'm pretty sure they've also prepared way back. And that draft was a testament to just how familiar they indeed are with each other. I'd say the most unfamiliar we are with in this game would be how the Amon would play out, because it's the first time we'll be seeing it in a while. But if it's just really pure burst damage and finding targets, then I think it is going to be a pretty reliable jungle pick.
Ooh, early game. Wow. What? Almost taking OHEB down, almost first blood, and OHEB still sticks to the flicker, doesn't want to utilize it to take as well here. And it does seem like for TL, they'll be happy with this.
Yep. We're seeing the emblems come in as well for both of these teams. Another pull yourself together, this time in the hands of Sans. The mid laners have been picking it up pretty often so far today. So that's going to be a lot more flickers for Sans, and I feel like that it suits his playstyle so well. Because like this is the type of Farsa who just literally uses the flicker aggressively whenever he wants to. But JP getting poked low and now half HP. So still a very, not so quiet game after all, first blood.
And it's Sanji who picks it up against Sans. Okay, that's a rivalry between these two already. It does seem... Oh, another arrow! Sanji!
Sanji? Sanji has landed 2 consecutive important abyssal arrows.
And that's why, for me, I'm not a fan of the Amon. Low mobility up against something like a Selena like this. Like, the Farsa shouldn't well, when he's in Wings by Wings, I guess. But yeah, very vulnerable to abyssal arrows for Team Liquid. And you know how good Sanji is. Sanford zoning Keyboy away. This should be a free one. Might be actually a kill too. No, Keyboy respects it. Oh, Wings by Wings from Sans. So that's why he went pull yourself together, Brigitte. Sans knows just how deadly Sanji can be, and they've literally won out the early game through Mr. Sanji.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be torn between the Purify or the Flicker, but
what?
You just have to pick one.
Wait, did Carry not get it? Or okay, he did. It's just the invisibility. I thought, oh my lord.
It was just the invisible armor all this time. But yeah, so far, even with the amount of wave clear ONIC Indo has through the Farsa intro, it's interesting to see Team Liquid actually gain control of it. I mean, those were pickoffs after pickoffs too, and now we're seeing the rotations come in. Even though we expect fast rotations as well from them, you're always on your toes knowing that Team Liquid has the early game. And I feel like even Savero pointed this out before we headed into this match. You cannot give them the lead because they're a team who just doesn't let go of that lead.
But it's not like they were giving the lead. It's Sanji forcing the lead out of ONIC. And you know, sometimes you just can't help it. When an Abyssal Arrow lands twice on 2 prio targets, you just gotta take it and try to come back in Turtle 2. And that's what ONIC are doing right now. That's why they're playing super safe, extra safe, after seeing how accurate Sanji can be on the Selena in the early game. So let's talk about these individual lanes, because it's interesting to see that the Savero hasn't actually been winning out this lane entirely. You'd expect the Irithel to be the counter here. Both teams have been rotating into the bottom lane. OHEB doesn't have Purify, so could be an angle to gank, but JP is just too clean with those rotations, always covering these angles of attack away so that ONIC can't get OHEB.
I mean, it was great that he was able to recover, because earlier on, I think in the first minute of the game, there was an early rotation from Sans, and we saw OHEB being poked down very low. So it's great that he's able to at least come back in this game, manage his lane a bit better, but he fully respects that this matchup might not indeed be that favorable for him. Onyx ID have their eyes set on Sanford. They might try to burst him down. There goes the third airstrike. Will he get away with this? The other members of TLPH actually make it!
And Sanford survives. Sans able to flicker out of the Abyssal Arrow earlier. Kai joins in. Abyssal Arrow landing! Keyboy providing the cover as Sanji again is the man you need to watch. Sanford survived that, and it's TLPH with a win again. You can see the lead getting too crazy now for TLPH. CarlTzy was already 2 levels ahead. Now he's gonna have a smoother road in his own jungle, just clearing things up as OHEB picks up the gold crab and will push this lead even further. JP down below, Sanji too.
Yeah, you kind of see where this might just be going, because the Yisun Shin is having a pretty decent time early on. Will Keyboy actually find a target, though? He lands the way of the dragon onto Sanji, but Sanji, he just won't go down. The endless shards won't even be enough to take him out. Savero tries to deal with the other members with a heavy crossbow, but there's a clear lack of damage still from ONIC ID.
Yeah, Kai popped in the ultimate, was not able to get Sanji, and that's a squishy member, so
Yeah.
this is a problem for ONIC. They're just lacking damage in the early game. All of the kicks have not resulted in kills, and it is really bad for ONIC. They kind of need a snowball going for this jungle. Savero's doing damage at least. They were almost able to get a few kills, but almost is never enough. TLPH have been the absolutes in game number 1 so far, and that's a concern for ONIC. Kind of like a victory dance for Team Liquid. Sky Piercer done quite early in the game for Mr. Oheb.
Yep. I mean, Keyboy, he's had some very decisive way of the dragons. He spots out the likes of Sanji. He gets to use them and land them on these heroes. But again, I think it's not just the endless shards, right? Even the Fettered Airstrike can't provide enough damage just yet towards the members of Team Liquid, so they'll have to play things a little more careful, even trying to go after Lutfi, forced to retreat under the turret. This is a massive problem if even the EXP laner is struggling this much with just the presence of CarlTzy and Sanford.
Yeah, Carl is building up to be a monster right now, scaling very well into the game as ONIC continue to do that too. They still are scaling up. It's just, right now, they gotta scale faster. TL are doing it at such a rapid pace that ONIC might actually get outscaled. Keyboy jumps in with Jikundo and the Dragon cancelled.
The Dark Wave actually cancels it. Endless Charge this time gets to take Sanji down, but JP finds the kill onto Keyboy and he's blocking the path of Savero as well. Oheb also makes it to the fight. CarlTzy looking for some targets, but they find Savero!
What a Dark Wave with the flicker. Savero kiting away. Oheb with the shot. Savero taken down. Lupi now pops in vengeance. Oheb caught in the bad spot. Dark Wave landing onto Sans. Sanford gets him down. Now it's a shield unity.
How did they put themselves in this spot? Now Kyrie is finding the way to clap back. Infernal Pursuits coming in for Sanford, but that won't help him get out alive. It's such ripple for Lutfi this time.
That's the fight that ONIC ID have been hoping for since Turtle 1, and it finally opens up in Turtle 3. Keyboy doing a good job at zoning. Carl still able to secure the purple as Kai gets the turtle. Gold lead now down for TL to 1,000. Let's take a look at that fight against Sanford. What an amazing Dark Wave to land on Savero with the flicker there. Even Savero wasn't aware of that, but it did put the rest of TL into chasing mode, and that's what you don't really want up against this composition. Kai got an easy flank, was able to clean up, and it's a CCO.
And I feel like that was too aggressive from Oheb as well. He had to commit the flicker to chase after an Irithel. And you know that Irithel are the more favorable matchup when it comes to the Granger because you'll have to have a bit more precision in terms of landing those Rhapsodies. And then again, they found themselves in the middle of 2 turrets of ONIC ID, so things weren't looking too good for that fight. And fortunately for ONIC, they find a way to somehow catch up. There still is a significant lead, especially in terms of the gold laners, but Kyrie, after that moment, at least he's able to close the gap to a 300, 400 gold lead.
The missile arrow lands, mounted shocker over to the back, Sun's taken down by JP! Keyboy looking for a trade.
Oh, will they still go for it? They cancel it with the Dark Wave, but the Curtain Call was already committed as well. Keyboy trying to look for a kick. He lands it onto JP, but he's a tanky member. Now Sanford gets punished, but Oheb, he just keeps throwing out those Rhapsodies.
The abyssal arrows are landing so easily for Sanji. He's threading the needle all across. Savero, no heavy crossbow utilized here for Savero. He'll just take that, well, he'll let Sanji take that turret. And yeah, ONIC are on the back foot again. Team Liquid, dude, that was such a crazy engage from Carl too. That Mountain Chakra on Sans, so explosive. And maybe this is why we don't see the Farsa as much anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe Farsa's just a bit too vulnerable.
A lot, or if not almost all the members of Team Liquid can just try to close in on the Farsa, and it wouldn't be that much of a problem anymore because you force out either the flicker or the wings by wing. So he somehow gets to escape, but Sanford, denying the conceal immediately. Abyssal Arrow nearly lands, but JP, he might just get bursted down this time. Lutfi trying to take him down, but there's the Fettered Airstrike to finish him off.
1-4-0 0, but the Abyssal Arrow lands in the back. Sanford with the flicker forward. Sanji doing the same. The San duo working. Dark Wave from Sanford.
That was literally a flicker to take down Sans, and now they find the kill on Kyrie as well. Not even Savero with the heavy crossbow can do much. This is clearly an opportunity for Team Liquid to take the objective if they want to.
It's a small win left, small win right, then a massive win with an explosive Abyssal Arrow.
Again!
Sanji is just too darn good on the Selena. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 3 mage bans earlier in this game in the drafting phase. And now with the Selena, he's putting his mark down. Sanford, let's take a look at this again.
I wonder how they coordinated that dive. Because like Sanford went in with the flicker, and so did Sanji with the flicker.
And then the Dark Wave.
And then the Dark Wave and everything else followed. CarlTzy nearly died there too because he had to take the endless shards, but we just go back to the entire idea that they're still trying to chase Team Liquid in terms of items, in terms of damage. So yeah, the idea behind the Amon was there, but we're yet to see it in this game.
TL will continue to push now. Enhanced Lord of the mid lane. Pushing down JP, walking up a bit too aggressively there. They're just trying to set up for the Abyssal Arrows, really. Litpi's doing a good job though. Curtain call.
Oh, he gets to use it on Sanford and JP, so they might have to retreat for a bit. There's the conceal too, however. So ONIC, at least, able to deal with a Lord, but that doesn't eliminate the threat of the Abyssal Arrows coming in from different angles, and Team Liquid still having the superior amount of damage. Just look at Oheb and look at CarlTzy.
7,000 gold lead now for Team Liquid, but Sanji just keeps on landing these big shots, and it stops ONIC ID from even going for picks. Usually with the Cho, you should be able to just walk up even when you're behind. But Sanji just landing it so easily, and again, it spots Keyboy out so many times. In-game equipment check here. See Halberd pick up. He wants to just go through the front line before getting through the back, so no BOD. It'll actually be, is that an Athena shield buildup for Oheb? On the way, yeah.
Okay, Onyx ID might actually try though. There goes the curtain call and the feathered airstrike trying to bring down JP and Sanford's HP. But Team Liquid, they know that Onyx ID actually want that, so they'll be trying to disengage for now, waiting potentially for the next objective. This is just such clean execution from Team Liquid overall, even during times wherein we feel like it is a bit too aggressive. It's not like they completely lose out on the fights anyway, so this is going to be a struggle for Onyx ID to find how they can set the tempo. We did see how Boye did try to do that though with the Cho that was playing from behind, but it's a different lineup right now for Onyx ID.
And it is an Athena shield, right? So good against the Amon and the far side. That's literally the only 2 dudes that can get to Oheb right now. He's so safe in the back. That's what we said in the draft here for Team Liquid. They're just playing a proper front to back. It is a very honest front to back, but it works, especially when your backline's so good in the early game. 007, CarlTzy, Oheb 4-1 and 4, Sanji continuously landing shots, and Sanford and JP peeling for the team.
Twilight Armor picked up by Keyboy as well. Lutpi, I feel like whoever he decides to use the curtain call on will be such an important decision, and he might decide to use it now, but maybe not because Team Liquid decides to engage in the fight. They go for Lutpi and try to burst him down, but the flicker! Jade Kundo from Keyboy, is that gonna be enough? Endless charge already committed. They don't get any kills until now!
Sanford down. It's gonna be traded for Keyboy now as Oheb walks up, picks up the killing spree, another stack on the Sky Piercer. Onyx forced back. That was a pretty good fight, I would say, for Onyx. They only lost their roam for the XP, and it was because of Kai. He zoned 3 of the carries behind as he walked up, tried to go for the endless charge. I think it was a mistap. He wanted to go on CarlTzy, but he did land on Oheb in the end. The Athena shield stopped that from happening, stopped the kill from happening. Now Abyssal Arrow lands on Lutpi. A few shots over.
Oh, could they stop this from happening though? Oh, even with the Athena's shield, gets blasted with the endless shards. Sands will still survive, and Savero this time making things happen, but CarlTzy finds the kill onto him as well.
Such a back and forth. This is the battle that we've been waiting for, and now we know why we've been waiting for, why this matchup has been so anticipated. Team Liquid, for the majority of this game, are holding on to the lead, but it never felt like too big of a lead for ONIC to just stay in their base. They were constantly walking up, farming as well, finding their power spikes, and now it's ONIC on the Lord. They're the ones, the Sky Kings, marching in. JP with a shield unity, Sanford with a Dark Wave.
Oh, but Keyboy nearly finds Sanford though, but he gets to keep himself safe, but that will not keep them alive. There's a difference. CarlTzy trying his best to find the targets to deal damage, but will he be able to though? Both Sanford and JP have been taken down.
Lutpi still deathless. Team Liquid lose their front lines, but keep their carries, and that's why ONIC still have to respect. There's no push in. Savero versus Carl. It's just a few shots with a crit passive. Sans in a bush.
Okay. This is a very intense back and forth between Team Liquid and ONIC ID. It's still ONIC ID clearly in control of the Lord Pit, however, but how does Team Liquid approach this without their frontliners in this match? They will have to forfeit this objective. ONIC ID, even after playing from behind for quite some time, are the first to actually get the Lord here.
And now it's ONIC with the lead. The gold lead at the start of the game, all towards mid, is gone. Great item with the Athena shield, but I guess that's why they still went him on despite knowing there are a few items that can counter it. It just goes through, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten to a point where he's just penetrating through the magic defense. And this is why Divine Glaive and the Genius Wand is shielding into the back line. A full dive on Sans!
Oh, they successfully eliminate Sans, and CarlTzy goes and finds Kyrie!
The Lord in the hands of ONIC, but TL don't care! They go and penetrate through this composition of ONIC against all odds, and they dive in. Lord up top, but 4 members still in the mid lane. Sanford decided to recall now as Keyboy looks to push in. I want to see the wave in the bottom lane now. Savero dodging with the Abyssal Arrow.
Yeah, he has the heavy crossbow. They gotta be mindful of that. They can still potentially find a way to deal with the incoming waves, but they're still gonna attempt nonetheless. But Savero and Keyboy, they do successfully defend. Might pop the immortality, and there you go. But JP, he nearly got his pop too. This is
MLBB right here.
This is MLBB.
High-level MLBB. The two teams we've been waiting for. I gotta say, my expectations have already been exceeded just a bit. Let's see if they can continue to do so. Damage dealt ranking now, Lutpi, 63,000. And then a whole lot of TLPH members. So Savero, Kyrie, and Sans, they gotta start stepping up in this game, because right now, it's just getting really, really tough to get through this front line.
Yep. We did see, however, the potential angles from which ONIC ID can work on to find at least an advantage in the fight, because again, if the curtain call is landed onto either JP and Sanford, or both of them better, then you just keep them from protecting their teammates or setting things up for Team Liquid themselves, then that just gives easy access to Kyrie, which I feel we saw earlier in the top lane, to look for his targets. There has been some targeting issues in that instance, but if it were otherwise, then things could potentially be better for ONIC ID this time, especially as they only lack a single item for Kyrie to complete his build, and Savero, on the other hand, has completed his, even has the Wind of Nature. So I like how the gold laners really acknowledge that they have to keep themselves in the fight, much to a point where we also see an Athena's shield, but proccing the passive is gonna be critical for OHEP.
Holy Crystal done for Kai, Divine Glaive for Sans as well. So we were talking about them having to get more damage to actually go through the front line. There you go. Holy Crystal, Divine Glaive, they have more penetration, they have more brute force damage on Kai with the Holy Crystal. Good Shenpu from Keyboy, might be going for the pick now, goes for the Jikundo, doesn't actually end up going for the Weighted Dragon. Good Abyssal Arrow, stops Keyboy in his tracks.
Yep.
But the wave up top is favorable for TL. That's slow push.
Yeah. And Lutpi at least still has his curtain call, and they didn't want to go for JP. They knew that there were other more important targets to go after. They blocked Keyboy, they deny him of his attempt, and somehow Sanji finds Savero, might be punished too, but Kyrie, he's next. There's a flicker from Sanford, but Keyboy and Lutpi
They baited him out. Now JP caught in the tough spot. Lutpi walks back up. Keyboy looking for G Kundo. Will be able to get it down now with the Chunpu as well. Immortality down for JP. Lutpi zoning them in the back line. It will be JP falling as Lutpi continues to the chase. Doesn't have the curtain call just yet. Pops into vengeance. Chases down the goat. Carl buys the Immortality and gets away. Keyboy!
Oh, but there's a flicker. We have the Dragon and the Fennered Airstrike. Still has the Traceless, however, but Kyrie gets the last hit.
Wave up top, crashing. ONIC need to deal with it. That's going to be a whole base turret taken down. Can they go for it in time? No. It'll be a base turret take for Team Liquid, but ONIC win the fight. Oh, what a back and forth from the two champions.
This 20-minute game, I feel like it hasn't been that long even because of just how the back and forth has been
like 20 minutes,
going.
I agree.
It doesn't feel like 20 minutes, but
Okay.
That was such a play from Sanji, yes. But I feel like Team Liquid could have been a little more careful because they already had the Lord. But there was still a flicker from Sanford to try and engage for Onyx ID. So that might have cost them this situation that they're currently in. And now in the live cam, they're still trying. Okay.
Yeah.
This is insane, MLBB.
It really is. I don't know if you guys caught that in live cam view, but JP popped into conceal and had a battle of invisibility. Like JP was trying to catch Kai. Kai was invisible. They were just sidestepping each other, dancing around. Takes two to tango. Both of them knew the assignment. Gold lead gone. I mean, the gold lead really hasn't been relevant at all in the last few fights. So now the big advantage for TL is the fact that they have a slow push into Onyx space for free up top. Bad news is, it's not the far lane, so Onyx can still deal with it constantly.
What is Sanji trying to build here? Could it be a winter crown for his Selena? So he could put himself in a little more, I don't know, dangerous positions. Oheb picks up the War Axe too, adds it to his build on the Granger. This is the point wherein we'll probably see a lot more item swaps here and there. I mean, even that clutch immortality from CarlTzy, that was definitely something. But this is going to be the 20-minute mark Lord that they are going to fight for.
Yeah. Oheb has sold his boots for a War Axe, so additional sustain to deal with Onyx ID's burst. For Severo, he's also sold his boots. He's bought the Windtalker, I believe, earlier. So additional movement speed from the Windtalker. Some damage, there you go. From Carl. Sanford jumping in on his Sans. Sans a flicker. Jumps in with the Winter Crown as well.
He gets to intercept the Wings by Wings, but now it seems like Team Liquid, they're feeling the damage from Onyx ID, but no, wait, it's actually Kyrie who's first to fall. That's a lot of damage coming in from Severo. Nearly takes down JP, but he survives. How on earth did they find Kyrie in the midst of everyone else?
How on earth have we only lost 2 members? One from each. Kai dying, yes. Sanford dying too. The Battle of Winter Crowns and a missile arrow landing. If he was ready for that, that could have been different there. But yeah, Sanford jumped in with the Infernal Pursuit and then popped in the Winter Crown. Same goes for Lutpi early with the Curtain Call. Keyboy walks up again, puts down the Curtain Call, will be able to go for the chunk. Abyssal Arrow, that's a Chunpu into it!
Yeah, they already used the Mountain Jumper as well, but CarlTzy still gets the last hit. Somehow though, Severo, he seems like he has enough damage to deal with the remaining members of Team Liquid! But back to shield unity!
JP gets away with 1 HP, you can see that smile! A smirk from the man who's at fault.
Team Liquid have found a way to win that fight, to secure that objective for themselves. The moment they were able to take out Kyrie, that was already a massive win for them heading into the fight. So now Onyx ID will have to rely on their defense. At least for Severo though, he does really have a lot of damage to bring out, but he cannot let the Abyssal Arrows land. He cannot let any other member of Team Liquid interrupt his attempt to defend for his team.
And the problem right now is, Abyssal Arrow landing, Sanford jumping in!
Oh, they actually tried to burst down Keyboy, pops his immortality, but JP might get punished here. They still don't get to take down the turret, and Onyx ID have clearly capitalized on that. Lutpi trying to make things happen. CarlTzy receives the endless shards, and Kyrie finds the kill!
Another turn, Onyx defend! Flashbacks to 2023 MSC when Liquid got all of the Lords constantly, but ONIC just defended over and over again. Liquid have gotten 3 base turrets, so yes, they lose 3 members, but it's still worth it for them. Those 3 members will spawn, the base turrets will not. I don't know about this. Was this necessary? Did they really need to do that? And if they wanted to, I think they should have just done it around the Lord. Oh, Keyboy with a kick over to Sanji. No one there to follow it up in the live cam view.
Yeah.
And then wait, they want to go for it. 3 members still down. ONIC!
They have 2 minions alongside them. Better they're trying to zone out the other members, and they will just go for the base!
ONIC! The Sky Kings take the game from out of nowhere. They pull it down. What the heck?
Okay.
Inhale, exhale. But I'm not gonna take it easy and breathe because what a performance by these 2 teams. Clearly though, Team Liquid a little bit more over-eager in multiple scenarios all throughout, while Onyx ID were forced to play a little bit more counter and responsive, which they were able to excel at. Brigida, how many times has this happened in MPL Philippines Season 15? Where Team Liquid, looking to end, looking to push with the Lord, dives under turrets and lose way too many. What a read by ONIC.
A lot. It happened a lot of times. And that moment you were talking about, I believe, before that one-way push done by Onyx ID, yes, it was questionable from Team Liquid because the turret was still standing as well. So they had to receive a couple of turret shots. There was a clear way for ONIC to get back at Team Liquid. And so I don't know. It's the exact same thing we've been seeing from them ever since.
Yeah, and I really want to commend Lutfi here on this CC because
dude,
the curtain call
Lutfi
is perfect against teams like these that are way too over-eager. You just realize, oh wait, no, it's fine. We're slowed a little bit. Yeah, we're kind of tethered. But that sets you up to getting bursted and damaged down by your opponents.
Yeah, I just want to I want to watch this replay again and let the game sink in, dude. That was such a good game of MLBB. One that it's been a while for me, at least, to watch this kind of MLBB that I'm like really proud of. I didn't feel like I casted a 24-minute game at all. This is beautiful. Beautifully done by ONIC. Again, like you said, Renmar, the counter engages, the setups. I think the zoning individually as well by Kyrie. It's a very underrated part of this game where, yes, you have Litpi zoning in the back, but it's also Kai. You never know where he's coming from just because of the invisibility. And multiple times you get to see the micro plays constantly from both these teams going at it head to head. My favorite was actually during the live cam view while we were in the replay because JP was concealed, Kyrie was concealed. Both of them were just like dodging from the shield unity. JP trying to get it.
Yeah, they were just trying to fight each other. Weren't able to fight each other, however. But I think what I also really appreciate about ONIC here is that every time that feathered airstrike by Sans comes up, you sort of see this instinctual, all right, let's protect our captain, guys. They just put up a wall enough to stop the cavalry or buy time for themselves. Meanwhile, for Team Liquid, the signature Team Liquid playstyle. The aggression, Team Liquid folks, in case you didn't hear it, are very vocal in this arena, especially after how Sanji started things off with the 2 kills. A lot of words were said, but all in good nature of the game. And at the end, it was their over-eagerness to win certain conditions, certain skirmishes, especially that final siege that bit them.
What a debut for the Amon as well, I guess. Like,
sure burst.
It's sure burst. It did struggle a bit in the first few minutes of the game, or it lacked in terms of the damage, but once it built those magic penetration items, I mean, the mere fact that you're able to force your gold or the opponent gold laner to build an Athena's shield, that's probably something, right? Because like, it could have been more damage for Oheb too, I guess, but then you literally forced them to play a bit more defensively.
And this is where you get to see why mid laners have been going pull yourself together even on heroes that you wouldn't expect them to, right? Usually you see the pull yourself togethers for the Petrify mid laners, but here, back-to-back games, Nico in the previous one with Jusin, here, Sans with the Farsa goes pull yourself together for the flanker. That was Keyboy, by the way, the one that goes, ow! That's his thing, he does it every time in MPL ID. Yeah, so back to it. Pull yourself together, helped Sans. He was getting caught way too easily in the early game, but it got harder as the game went into the later stages, just because of the stacks. You gotta understand the players have to get the change here. With the change, you actually stack up the cooldown.
Yeah, and for people wondering, how come there's no purifies on the side of Team Liquid Philippines? Well, more priority is on repositioning than it is just being able to take away crowd control effects. You're gonna want to be able to avoid certain things before they even happen, instead of actually cleansing it. And especially since you're going up against a Farsa, that repositioning is incredibly important. You saw just how closely contested this game was. Team Liquid Philippines, hopefully they had enough of a heat check though. Because again, too overeager, and clearly ONIC are ready for that.
Yeah, there have been a lot of times. Some have been good, have been in sync with the other teammates. The San connection, we see that. Even CarlTzy dapping in every now and then. I mean, I think it's also the nature of their lineup, because this is technically a back xenophobia, so like they have no other way to approach the fights but go forward and dive in. But there were some instances where they could have used that mobility to keep themselves safe or to regroup after securing something that could have been already beneficial for them, like the Lord, like the objectives. So it's just a little bit of polishing, I guess, and not getting, as you said, too overhyped once you're already in the lead.
Yeah, it seems like they overlooked at some key moments. One of the things you have to do when you're up against a CC is you have to whittle down the CC first.
Yes.
If your EXP laner or your roamer dive way too deep and the CC of the opposing team is still too healthy, most of the time you will lose that trade because of what CC brings out in terms of the damage and the crowd control that you can't help out. Usually it was Sanford who already decided to dive in the back, but then behind him is the CC who's just going, hey. There's not much Liquid can do to help Sanford out in those scenarios.
Yeah, it becomes really tough because you can't really target the CC either, just because ONIC drafted for a composition with too many carries, too many ways to deal damage, so you end up targeting Lutpi, Kai, Sans gets free hits all around, Severo too.
That was the moment.
Yeah, also a bit of a head scratcher for me as to why Sanford decided to go with the flicker in that scenario when, again, they already have the Lord, they could have back. Clearly, Liquid are overheating right now, and ONIC are just playing the game of, let's be patient. They're a little bit more like Mythic Seal now. And
Mythic Seal.
Mythic Seal. While for Team Liquid, they're a little bit more SRG with the aggression that we're seeing from them.
Wow, except that there's a Farsa in this game.
Yeah, except there's a Farsa.
And I really want to bring this Amon pick into, I want to talk a bit more about it. So in the past, against Yi Sun-shin, it's been always really, really good to have an Amon, like Endless Shards. You have a target skill, and usually the only way to deal with it is Winter Crown. You take it like a boss by buying Athena or Immortality, or just die.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so on the Yi Sun-shin, you have a dash, you don't have a blink, so there's absolutely no way to get out of it. In the past, it was a way to counter the Yi Sun-shin, and I guess that was the angle.
Yeah. All right, a lot more that we can talk about, but for now we have to talk to someone on the stage. It's Eterna with, it's Celiboy.
Thank you, casters. It's no longer Selly Boy. It's actually Selly Dad who's in the building. But welcome, Selly Boy.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So the thing is, coming into this match, it is very interesting, right? Because it dates all the way back to your personal rivalry with CarlTzy that went all the way back to MPLI 2020 and then M2.
Yeah.
So do you remember that moment?
Yeah. Aku masih ingat.
He still remembers. So coming into this, what do you think about the, I would say, journey of CarlTzy until this point from 2020 to 2025?
Dia mulai masih konsisten ya. Mungkin ada beberapa season yang dia agak underperform, cuman ya itu namanya pro player kan, kadang di bawah kadang di atas, cuman hebatnya dia bisa balikin performanya aja sampai sekarang.
So he thinks CarlTzy is very consistent player. Obviously in a pro player's journey there are ups and there's always downs, but somehow he always figures out a way to come back.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the most amazing thing about Carl? Is it his mechanics? Is it his macro play?
Yeah, macro play and consistent.
Okay, macro play and consistent. Okay, short and sweet. So, if I had to ask now, because they're going head to head, it's already 1-0 for ONIC. Who do you think is a better jungler? Kyrie or CarlTzy?
Dua-duanya jago, ada kelebihannya masing-masing. Mungkin kalau di CarlTzy dia lebih ke makro dan team play ya. Cuman kalau misalnya Kyrie itu dia lebih plus ke mekanikalnya.
So he thinks they're both very good, but for CarlTzy he's better with macro and team fights. But for Kyrie, what was it?
Mechanic.
Mechanics. So
Yeah.
mechanics are better. So if you had to choose, what do you think is more important right now? Macro or mechanics?
Team play maybe.
Team play is more
Yeah.
important. So are you saying that CarlTzy is better right now?
No.
No. Okay, they're both very good. It's 1-0 right now, and it's very surprising because we finally saw an Amon pick. Were
Yeah.
you surprised about that?
Ya lumayan surprise karena kita belum pernah ngeliat Amon lagi kan setelah beberapa season. Mungkin itu persiapannya Onyx dan make sense juga karena lawannya banyak 2 MM dan 1 Selena. Jadi itu mungkin makanan Amon. Dan juga less CC kayak tim PH tuh tim Liquid tuh game 1 CC-nya kurang jadi Amon bagus.
Oh, so he was very surprised, but he thinks that it makes sense because there was a double marksman strategy that is like on the rise right now in this current meta, and the fact that for TLPH's composition they lacked CC.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you think it's something that we can look forward to being on the rise in the jungle for the next upcoming matches at MSC?
Sorry Kak, apa Kak?
Menurut Sally Boy, akan menjadi pick yang hot nggak sih buat MSC ke depannya?
Enggak. Karena itu Amon tergantung banget situasional hero sih. Jadi nggak bisa di-pick setiap saat kayak ISS.
Okay, so it's still a situational pick, but in this current situation earlier for game number 1, it was very good. That's what Sally Dad thinks. So Sally Dad, who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's going to be for TLPH? Are they going to come back, or it's going to be a 2-0 for Onyx?
Nggak tahu, mungkin skornya bakal 2-1, cuman nggak tahu siapa yang menang. Cuman pasti 2-1 skornya.
Very
Kayaknya.
safe answer.
No.
Safe answer. He said it could go
dua-dua-
both ways, but it definitely will go 2-1.
Iya, karena dua-duanya seimbang, Kak.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they're both on an equal level. So you're not leaning to a certain side here? No.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, Sally Boy looks very fresh right now. So I think we're just going to throw it over to our caster to see who will be able to take game number 2.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that hesitation from Sally Boy came from the fact that CarlTzy was staring him down, just going like this.
Wait, really?
No, he wasn't. No, that was my whole
I
personal
thought he was-
headcanon. Just holding it up. Remember what I did to you in M2? Like, nah. But it's great to hear from Sally Boy now, Sally Dad, of course. Now it's time. We're about to head into the draft in just a bit. I'm excited. I feel like it's one of those things where I had no problem with any of the draft. Of course, the aim on was the big, how is this going to do? But it worked out incredibly well for Onyx. Not in the early game, but once he had his items, it did the job of like, the moment OHEB or CarlTzy get close enough, or even Sanji, instant burst.
Yeah, it was a draft that I was okay with, even with the speed that it went by.
Yeah.
Because it was so fast, the answers just kept coming in, so I'm wondering if that's gonna happen too for game number. I mean, it's very likely that it will though, but like whether or not there are gonna be surprises again, like the Amon, or will they still try to focus on a certain player and keep banning his hero pool? Because for Sanji, at least he still had the Selena, but even now, you think about it, they took out the Lancelot, they took out the Hayabusa for Kyrie, but he still had something else.
It's always going to be the case here when you have 10 of these players playing here. There was a question in the chat, are these 10 players even human? That's a good question to ask right now. We are going to be...
No,
Well,
they're
the
not.
fact that they both made mistakes technically means they are human, but they
Yeah.
might be demigods.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see
Oh.
if there'll be a much cleaner performance this time around. Liquid are still
Wow.
focusing on their bans on Kyrie, while Onyx are really looking at the bans onto Sanji.
Wow.
There aren't even any other roles that are getting banned just yet, so all those...
Jungle versus mid.
Yeah, the Phoviuses are still open. I mean, it was open earlier too. The Yi Sun Shin, not anymore, I guess.
At this rate, we're gonna see Sanji play Eudora and CarlTzy play Argus. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, Phovius gets banned out. There you go.
Okay.
So they might be trying to set up for like a Lancer Joy.
yeah.
Yeah. They could also have a... I think with how Liquid have been playing, Onyx might even be considering Harith a little bit down the line.
Oh.
Could be one of the reasons why they also set it up with a Phovius ban. Because when you're up against a team that's clearly overheating and just diving on you whenever they can, Harith is one of those heroes that could actually shine in those scenarios if they cannot get to the Harith at the right moment.
What about the Kalea 2? Because
It
it
was banned last game.
Well,
They banned the 1-1. They gotta respect it. Savero played a mean 1-1 in the MPOID Grand Finals. Onyx, will it be the first Prio, just like they did earlier? Or
Wow.
that's why they banned the Phobia. Setting up for the Arlet. Could be
Yeah.
the Fredrin. Could be.
Could be a strong combo. Liquid need to, I think, could be good for Liquid if they go for formation that's a little bit more spread out. They can take individual micro fights in the bigger picture of a team fight. But now they're going to be playing around something static. They play around the Farsa for Sanji. And, well, CarlTzy gets his Lancelot.
Yeah, a big gamble again, picking up the Farsa against the Arlet.
Yeah, and then the Lancelot, knowing that there's going to be a Fred and most likely a Fredrin and an Arlot on the other side. It doesn't have to be a Fredrin.
Kadita early!
No.
And the Fredrin as expected. There you go.
ONIC are going for the kill. They want to end it in game number 2.
They're going for the signature picks here.
Yeah.
Kadita. Lutpi on carries. He's a different beast when he's on carries, and does seem like they're just putting all their marbles on Lutpi, being the main man on the Arlet and previously on the CC. TL, what do they pick here? I think go gold. Did they go gold lane here? But they go gold lane, then they can try to stop Severo's picks later.
Yeah, part of me is thinking maybe EXP Prio. I mean, CC and
CC
Glue are both open, but
Glue, yeah.
yeah, because they're still going to be red 4 anyway, so they can pick their gold laner later. But they still go for the Baksha for JP. Unless it surprisingly goes EXP, but not a lot of teams do that anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
I want to say that I like Team Liquid's heroes because of just how signature they are so far, but the Kadita into the Farsa, the Fredrin, into the Lancelot, and the Arlot into all of these just look too good, because even the Baksha could get punished by the final slash.
Exactly. It's a different dynamic. Liquid clearly have a set game plan for Sanji and JP. Be aggro, dictate the tempo, stop Kiboy and Sans from getting into the spots that they want to get into. But then you're up against so much crowd control, one of them being a Petrify even, if Sans decides to go for it, or if maybe even Kiboy ends up becoming the Kadita surprisingly. So Liquid still, same, they need to temper their tempo.
Still trying to think of what like ONIC want to pick in the gold lane. Do they just go for like a safe Granger if it's not banned out? Because they already have a crazy amount of... But no, the Lancelot will just get to him, no?
Yeah.
But
there's so much dive in crowd control that maybe you can just pick either the Granger or anything static really. As long as ONIC talk about them making sure that someone is with Severo, they should be safe from CarlTzy.
Could this be a Claude angle too if they really just want to dive in against the Farsa, right?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Although Moskov is also still open.
Yeah.
Which I think Liquid might want to consider stealing away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thinking about the Moskov too, honestly, but ONIC so far have banned out the Lapu and Uranus. I was hoping to see the Lapu from TLPH in the latter portions of the draft, but now they might want to ensure the matchup since they've been limited this much. So is it gonna be the Moskov or the gold lane pickup here for Oheb, or...
I think at this point they build for their draft. They can't be too concerned about like denying picks. They need to just build for what they're strong for.
What they want to. They want some crazy map presence. They said macro, you pick up the Moskov.
Yeah.
If you want to focus a little bit more on making sure your team fighting is strong, good, and set, you pick up the glue later on.
There you go. Moskov pick for TL. For ONIC.
So where does the Arlot actually go?
They could still just go for like a Harith too, right?
We did pose that possibility earlier.
The Farsa.
That's the tough thing. And then the glue will be there.
Could just be another Irithel.
If it's just the safest option, then...
Hilda. Rome.
Yeah.
Against the Farsa and the Lancelot. There you go. You see the players go for the high fives. It is going to be the Claude for ONIC to dive in, breaking this front to back.
I'm liking the draft of ONIC a little bit more. Even if Liquid decide to go for a glue, not a lot of picks will change how this might turn out. ONIC have drafted incredibly well. We called the last 2 picks of Liquid. Got to call the Claude. Great. ONIC, though, might be able to take this out. Mechanically demanding, but that is their comfort. Liquid, they have to play a much more conservative game. Balance out the aggression they showed earlier, lest they be punished by all the crowd control and damage that ONIC has. It's match point for the Indonesian champions. Will they be the first team to make it to the knockout stage after Mythic Seal? Or will Team Liquid force a game number 3?
It's a give and take, really. If Liquid tone down the aggression, they lose out on the early game. And I don't think you want to give this composition in particular of ONIC the early game. At this point, it comes down to just both teams playing towards their strengths, see who's better. It's mano a mano as we get ready to jump into the Lanadon one more time. For the people back at home, are you part of the Cavalry or are you part of the Sonics? Leave your votes in the live chat below. TL win or ONIC win as we dive into the Lanadon with Natan flying over.
This is literally them playing to their strengths, banking on their comfort picks as well. But apparently it's an XP Hilda. And they roam our lot for Onyx ID. So it seems like the aggression nonetheless doesn't change. It just has a little bit more of the element of crowd control too, and surprise in the mid lane, which I feel like you'd have to be careful of if you're Sanji. I mean, he does have the Purify, that's one. But you don't want to have to use it every now and then because of the final slashes and because of the knockups from Sans.
Good take by Severo there. Master Assassin for both the gold laners. Pull yourself together again back-to-back for Sans in the mid lane. Everything else does seem quite normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah. I guess what's interesting to me is the fact that we are getting a Hilda XP instead of the Hilda Roam with the Arlet in Roam. Because with the Fredgen, you usually want more damage on the Arlet. I'm not too big of a fan of this. Carl doing a good job at zoning Severo. Down below, it's also not the best of matchups for Lutpi.
Yeah. They just also probably want to have easier access to the way it can disrupt or disturb Sanji in terms of positioning and whatever he wants to do, but I must say, in terms of the gold lane and EXP lane matchup, they're still managing things pretty well. Not until Onyx ID decide to rotate down bottom. Sanford already pretty low, but Sanji and JP are here to provide some support. But Sans and Lutpi, or Kyrie rather, will be there too, so they won't be converting anything into a kill just yet. But I take it back. Sanford will be the first blood.
Great pick. Sans waited there, put up a camp basically, set up a tent. Just waited there, got the kill, now has Bird of the Ocean. It's an invade onto the Lancelot. This should be a free turtle. Yeah, retry use for Carl.
Ooh, a lot of pressure coming in from Onyx ID, from EXP lane, all the way to CarlTzy and his purple buff. Keyboy just keeps going at it, uses the final slash onto JP. There's the knock from the Breath of the Ocean. Lutpi gets the last hit too, and
they take orange.
Even orange.
Wow. This is really good by Onyx. So this is like a Sans, Breath of the Ocean!
Oh, Sanford might fall once more, but fortunately has the flicker. Kyrie there too, energy eruption, but there's the Purify from Sanji to get out of that. Insane control from Onyx ID. Pressure too, you could definitely see that CarlTzy is not having the best time of his life.
You really have to respect the level of coordination by Onyx here. Because the way you play the Fredgen nowadays is very different to the way you play Fredgen back in the day. Breath of the Ocean canceling out a possible puncture. Sans gives out the thumbs up. And again, to get back to that point, back in the day, Fredgen was just so strong.
Yeah.
You could just invade very early in the game and you would win. Here now, the Fredgen is strong, yes, but you're not a solo hero anymore. You can't just invade alone. You need a team to surround you. And that's why Onyx here have just rotated together with the Fredgen constantly and have just punished Liquid when they were caught lacking.
I mean, look at Kyrie on the Fredgen 2 levels ahead of Carl.
This is not, yeah, like Fredgen Lance, that's not how the matchup is supposed to go.
This is something. Onyx ID have seemed to go into this match with a clear picture and idea of how they're going to deal with Team Liquid. I mean, that confident pickup on the Kadita in the first phase of the draft, that to me already seemed like something from Onyx Indonesia, and now they're showing us how it's done. Not even Sanford gets to go out of his lane first or as much. And even if he does, like, he'll be just there to provide additional support to his teammates, to CarlTzy, who's clearly being disturbed most of the time whenever he tries to attempt to go for his jungle, and Kyrie denies him of this. Oh, look at that two-man knock-up with the Breath of the Ocean. Final slash also committed onto Sanji. He couldn't even use the Fenrir strike.
Blazing duet from Severo and the Breath of the Ocean, Onyx ID. That's a 4-1. They've lost their utility jungler. Keyboy jumps in, looking for the stun, able to get it. That's a breath of the ocean again. Lutpi charging in, and OHEB is forced back as ONIC go for the turtle. Even without Kai, Team Liquid were baited in to a taunting ONIC. Like, dude, Kai basically taunted them by jumping in and securing orange buff. That forced them to go in. TL were like, we're not having that. We're going to kill you. But ONIC just turned it around saying, sure, you can kill us, but you will be punished. Everyone corralled in, and it was beautiful because oh wait, there's a battle there. Live cam view. All right, Keyboy, San's nice too.
Wait, CarlTzy, can he get out of this? He might actually do. BMI out for Savero. So Team Liquid do find some kills to catch up. But yeah, going back, that was still a very commendable decision from ONIC ID. I mean, Kyrie just stood there. You would think he would want to reserve that retribution, but maybe not. He's already way up ahead anyway. And him getting or being able to take that away from CarlTzy, it just slows down Team Liquid a lot more, because even to this point, he's still way behind Kyrie. All members of Team Liquid are actually significantly behind ONIC ID, but the good thing for Team Liquid, I feel, is at least they're able to hold onto their objectives, onto their turrets. They're not letting ONIC ID get any of these just yet, but that might be what they could work on next, because ONIC ID at this point, now that they're ahead, they can feel a lot more confident to just group up together and find something.
And again, to go back to the point of the replay, when ONIC are fighting in that clumped up spot, you know, like a small choke points, it becomes incredibly hard for Liquid because they're going to get CC'd constantly by Kai, by Sans. Keyboy gets unlimited dashes, and their AoE is ridiculous with Savero. Again, the Arlo with the final slat, it's just too much AoE. You have to try to fight ONIC in a big spot on the map. You don't want to be in those clinch points. Lutpi's just split pushing on the Hilda.
Hey.
There you go, a free turret down below for ONIC ID.
That kind of reminds me of Kirk. This is kind of like how he does or plays the Hilda. But yeah, I do agree. This is also why Team Liquid has or was forced to have the Purify on Sanji and OHEB. When things get too messy, it's almost a guaranteed way for ONIC ID to get the pickoffs, because they can just layer their crowd controls after one another. Sanji already uses the wings by wings, and they can only do so much, get some information. Every now and then, they can't really confidently go in for the contest as of this moment.
Nope. I think the one thing we can talk about Liquid is the fact that they have really good clear. Lancelot, Farsa, and Moscow. So they have a plan B here. If ONIC ID get a crazy lead, ONIC will still have to team fight their way into a victory. Like, there's no way they can just purely siege with this kind of composition. They're gonna jump on Sanford.
Oh, look at the chain, CC. We just mentioned it, but there's a split somehow. Sanford gets to walk away, but ONIC ID, they seem to fear no one. Even Sanford looks or can be a target for ONIC ID at this point. Even if you look at the items that Savero currently has, just needs one more item to complete that Trinity build, and you could already expect the damage, his potential to shred down even the tankiest members of Team Liquid. To think that we already saw the Blazing do it too once in this game, I believe, and it was already dealing a decent amount of damage, so Team Liquid have to be very careful about this. Sans goes in, bursts down JP, might actually finish off the kill. There's the counter predator strike coming in from Sanji. CarlTzy, he doesn't land the Phantom Execution onto Zavero because he's still at the BMI, and Keyboy still finds him!
A mount down as he brings him back under target. Keyboy still getting the kill! But now Lutpi, it's Kyrie who tanks the turret to ensure Lutpi gets away. Keyboy for Carl and JP. Sanford walks up, Breath of the Ocean landing now with a knockup too. Blazing to away from Savero!
OHEB won't be able to make it out alive! San duo, they have to walk away! And as you've seen it, that Arlot, that was... I don't know if it was just a roam Arlot anymore. It literally had decent amount of damage too. It was the one able to get that last hit onto CarlTzy, dived in, took that risk, forced the fight even under the turret for Team Liquid, but yet again, JP, he could barely move, he can't can't do anything with all these final slashes and breaths of the ocean.
Kyrie wants to go for more. Feather airstrike coming down as Keyboy goes for the side. Able to go for the stun now. Constantly putting it down. Another vengeance on Carl. He jumps in. Almost. Maybe getting the kill. Oh! Saves the game for Liquid. That's a breath of fresh air.
Okay, I apologize. That was a surprise. Steal. Too much of a surprise from OHEB. I can't even recall if there was anyone who could have gave out the information to him. But it was such a well-timed spear of destruction, allowing Team Liquid to still stay in the game, although they somehow still are, no matter what you say, but it clearly has been under control for Onyx ID. Now they will attempt to take this in this mid lane turret, but there are too much members from Onyx ID trying to keep it together. And all the while this was happening, Mirko, I did not notice how well managed the bottom lane was for Team Liquid. So that was probably also something OHEB was able to do, and now he's working on the other side of the map as well.
3-item power spike, 10 minutes and 47 seconds to claim it. And this is looking good for OHEB. Looking good for Team Liquid too. They've bought a bit more time. Remember, Onyx ID, they're kind of fighting against the clock here. The composition should get outscaled. Should. I'm not sure. We'll see, because it should, right? The Farsa should have a better late game than the Kadita. Everyone, except for maybe the Claude, right? So it's a battle of prolonging the game, and OHEB literally got them a get-out-of-jail-free card with that steal.
Yeah, and Team Liquid at this point have also probably realized that they should be picking where the fights take place, because in those very narrow spots, it's clearly Onyx ID who gets the advantage, and I think we talked about this earlier too. So now that they have a bit more room to move around the map to decide on where they will be choosing to engage Onyx ID, then they can potentially be the ones to position themselves first and not get taken by surprise as much by Sans. Still is a major threat to Team Liquid. We can't deny the fact that he is, but I think that's another thing too. Like, they have to be careful on who they're letting or who they're assigning to check the brushes, the members of Onyx ID, because even JP can get bursted down, and we've seen it happen a lot of times in this game. So that's something Team Liquid definitely has to consider in the upcoming seconds or minutes of this game. But so far it seems like all they want is just to manage the map and the macro before the next fight breaks out.
Yeah, because they know OHEB. OHEB's part in the bush. Spear of Misery baited out, and OHEB sent back to the base. So yeah, they know that OHEB is the guy that can make things happen right now. Clearing out the side lanes, appearing in fights, stealing lords. Mans can do everything. And that's why TLPH are going to have to bank on him, at least for now, to continuously hold that way for them. Because if not, then Onyx get a free forced error.
Yeah. And now it's Onyx slowly approaching the Lord. Might be the first ones to actually position and set up for this take. They know that OHEB has just cleared the lane up top. Keyboy is someone you have to pay attention to, but it's not actually any other member they try to go for. It's Sanford who they try to burst down. Sands will also get to receive the damage from the Feathered Airstrike. Ludwig trying to zone the other members, but Carl trying to fight Kyrie head on in terms of the retribution, but Kyrie actually wins it out!
Kai wins a retreat, Severo wipes the back, Carl gets a kill on Kai, but it's 3, 4, 1. Lupi walking up the bush, Carl on the orange buff now as he goes in, secures the orange buff. Keyboy looking for the chase, goes in, able to get the vengeance, but that's about it, only one. Carl should be able to escape.
He has all his skills intact for him to make it out alive, but can they still save the game? Final slash trigger committed on the Sanford. There's the Breath of the Ocean. Chain CC all over again, and Savannah with a free hit. There's still some bit of sustain, but it won't keep him safe. Phantom execution from Carl!
Jumps into the puncture, saves the day again. Feathered Airstrike coming down too. Mid lane base turret will fall. That's an SOD landing. OHEB gets a Spear of Misery, pins him down. Sans falling. Keyboy as well. JP's the one who gets the shutdown. OHEB didn't get a kill, but TL get 2.
Okay, so after that, Team Liquid have somehow still showed some signs of life. They're definitely fighting for this. They want to go for the turrets. 2 members. They see and feel the damage coming in from Sanji and CarlTzy as well. He finds the and now it's Severo. He's after!
CarlTzy! What are you made of? 7 seconds on Sans. Carl jumps in the base. We saw a comeback in game number 1. We see the GOAT shine in game number 2.
Time after time, proving why he's the greatest of all time. And this titanic matchup is forced into a game number 3 by Carl frickin' TZ.
You have to put the frickin'. It's...
Yeah, because if I said another word, I'd probably lose my job.
No, I was on you with that because of just how well he performed in this game. And to think that he's been constantly bothered in the jungle for majority of the game. He just looks for that one opportunity and opening to turn things around.
That's great. How could you, like, how could it be better? You cannot write this stuff. This is crazy, dude. Oh my God, CarlTzy, man.
CarlTzy. Hey, I mean, that was already such a great start for Onyx ID.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh.
Everyone does better from behind.
That's been the story of this day. The more you lose, the stronger you are, the higher the chances of you winning it. And yes, Onyx ID played such a great how to mess up Team Liquid game. All the crowd control, all the counter engage, and the fact that their timings were on point where Liquid just looked like they were like, man, why can't we get our flow going? Why can't we get in the zone? But then a siege, a push, and then CarlTzy happened.
The Lord Steel, that's delayed to that point too. Oh my
big money
Lord.
Oheb with a big money spear. It's one of those things that really, I get it. Why our community says sometimes I feel like, you know, our MLB is a little bit too scripted, bro. You cannot write these things. These things are better than fiction.
Dude, it's actually crazy, but that's the case, yo.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is like, sometimes reality is weirder than fiction. We're seeing it here. Oh, dude, I'm so...
Okay.
I'm out of words.
Okay.
So speechless.
These upper bracket matches so far, they have absolutely delivered. None of them have been a sweep. None of them have been a one-sided performance just yet.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that we're literally seeing teams play better from behind, but I think, well, that's a huge development there. Because, like, teams usually just are good at playing from, you know, like an advantage. But now they actually can set up for more and more comebacks. So things are really getting competitive here in MSC 2025. I get it now.
Let's get it.
Oh,
Honestly, and yeah, I'm figuring out about our Team Liquid, but then Onyx has been fantastic all throughout the series. You can see from game 1, their game plan is so clear. They know Team Liquid's tendencies to be overly aggressive, and they have been playing against that so well. But if you leave just 1 or 2 crucial pieces open for Liquid to turn things around, they'll be able to find a way to turn things around. Sanford shut down in this game. JP leaning hard on utility. Sanji did what he could, but it was Oheb and CarlTzy who popped up just when you need them to.
I just gotta say, you know, I'm pretty stupid to think that, like, oh man, the match 1 was so good. This might actually be better than match of the day. No. Oh my God.
we don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is amazing. It's look at this, right? Again, this is maybe you maybe you just don't want neutral objectives, chat.
Yeah.
Maybe just, you know, just do your thing, farm up.
Why is it like this?
Second time of the day where a team that got significantly less neutral objectives somehow won it. And I think it speaks for how the damage profiles have shifted in our meta now, with even way more assassins available to turn things around, that little by little we're really starting to see when there are assassins in the jungle, the emphasis of them being carries gets remagnified again. Like you get to see like, oh yes, one really crazy assassin play can carry you to a win even though you barely get objectives.
And majority of those crazy assassin plays came from a Lancelot so far.
Dude, Lancelot is cracked, especially Carl.
So there has to be something about the Lancelot now.
They made a skin for him. I mean, come on. There's a reason why. 828 gold per minute. Of course, this would have been an absolute crawl for a Moskov. Sanford just took almost 7,500 damage
Everything.
per minute. He took everything. Him and his mini longs as the glue. And because of how well Savero and Sans played for ONIC in this one, really fulfilling their role incredibly well, it demanded even more performance from the carries of Liquid, which happened.
It did.
It's crazy.
I was thinking it would have been, or it clearly looked like such a hard game for Sanji, but I think he too eventually found a way to deal with everything. It was just better timings, waiting for the opportunities which clearly ONIC could no longer cancel you out or something. And I feel like it happened a lot of times. ONIC felt super confident, so they were willing to use the final slashes onto JP, onto the other members. So that was like, okay, maybe I can use my feathered airstrike now. Maybe I can allow for our teams to fight back. And so, yeah, why are you
Fight back?
Because sometimes I just want to act things out, because like right now too, I'm at a loss of words for...
You don't need to explain yourself. We get it. It's completely fine. I'm pretty sure people back home are also acting it out alongside you are in this specific segment as we look at the replay that's going on.
Oh my goodness.
OHEB is the low-key MVP for being able to do that, because that bought them so much time. But you could clearly see how Liquid were starting to do some on-the-fly adjustments. They were required to, because of how well ONIC, their man marking is so good. Their skill conversation is world class.
And it's also the fact that OHEB, again, a silent MVP, definitely. CarlTzy stole the show. But the fact that he also followed in to kill Sans and Lutpi in the mid lane. CarlTzy did all he could, but he would not be able to teleport in. The SOD landing meant that OHEB could, again, get those 2 kills that set up for this here. Oh, it was Keyboy and Sans, sorry, not Lutpi and Sans. Then, ONIC, I think at this point they were thinking, yo, we have such a big lead. There's no way we should even give them a turret, but they ended up giving them the game. They defended tier 1 a bit too much, like they committed onto that. And hey, you make a small mistake even when you're ahead 4 or 5k gold against TL, they'll take it. They'll punish.
Yeah, usually in scenarios like that, you want to defend a little bit closer to tier 2.
Yes.
Because you're waiting for them to overcommit instead. But ONIC, I feel like that was them heating up a little bit. That was a little bit of overheat in the defensive mindset of like, you know, we're in the lead. I think we can handle this. Bam, they all just stood together and got taken out. Fantastic series yet again here for the qualification phases of the Group A matches for this 3rd day of MSC at EWC. And as we've talked about the matchup between Liquid and ONIC, let's put a little bit more focus on the Sky Kings of Indonesia, how multiple generations of them have showed up in the international stages. Of course, Generation 1, the MSC 2019 champions, the Kages, were they called?
The Kages.
Yeah. Generation 2, of course, at the cusp of becoming the first team to ever complete the Golden Road. And here at MLBB, they did so, almost did so, on the way to the M5 World Championship. They got the MSC 2023 champion. So what if in another odd-based year, coming off of a championship year, this might be the year yet again for ONIC at MSC.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. You know, as an Indonesian myself, I would love to see the boys pick up another win. But, you know, they're up against monsters too. So at this point, it really comes down to just who's better. It's no longer about those, you know, the storylines are cool, but it's not about patterns anymore. It's about who's just better at MLBB, who's better at tapping their screen in the land of dawn.
Yeah, I mean, like not all roads lead to CarlTzy, but multiple dreams have been ended by CarlTzy. But this is still qualifications. We're still in groups. We're still in knockouts. No one's getting eliminated today. So now heading into this game number 3, I think now we have to discuss about the Lancelot and the Assassin pickups and know how that is going to change the picture of the draft. Because I think as great as ONIC was around that Fredrin, I'd want to see them consider changing the tempo and just go, all right, let's just go Assassin versus Assassin again. Maybe not the Amon, although it was great, but you know, some really crazy stuff. But before that, it's time to watch a little thing that we've prepared for you.
Recalls happening left and right. The sky splits open as the Sky Kings descend at the arena.
I want to get a revenge for Onyx ID, and I think Kyrie is doing good now because of the Lancelot meta.
Immortality. He goes for the final execution. The Thorn goes in.
Kalau yang TLPH yang gue dengar Sanji, want to revenge, semua yang satu hal yang mau gue bilang ya kita juga ready buat balas dendam Sanji.
I think CarlTzy win because of the meta.
Strike and CarlTzy goes in, cleans up a couple kills, gets a double.
They're both good players and mechanical players, so I think it's gonna be a intense match.
I think CarlTzy will win because he's the GOAT. Dia menang, tapi kita menang. In stage, we're like equal. Even if he's my GOAT, yeah, but if we're competing, we're all equal.
Sobrang consistent niya simula nang nag-Indo siya. Kahit naman dito sa Pinas, talagang kina-consider ko siya as one of the greatest, kaya ang galing niya.
Good luck, Kyrie. I will invade your jungle.
Kyrie, galingan mo sa laban natin bukas and good luck sa ating dalawa.
And last word to Kyrie, good luck to us and hopefully we give a good match and I hope we win.
Saya give the best. I'm waiting the God.
He will beat you. Good luck, have fun, Carl.
As heated as this match has been, especially on the stage right now with the words being exchanged, it all just comes from a place of mutual respect. They know how good each other are. They know how there are monsters on both teams that needs to be respected and played well against. So of course, we're getting full intensity, some of the best MLBB we've seen in a very long time, although we always see a lot of great MLBB, but something about this is just so special. We're heading into game number 3 now, into the draft. We've talked about the jungles, Assassins. We've talked about importance around the mid lane. Pharsa seems to be like the go-to pick right now.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of these teams actually decide to ban it. But if one of them decide to leave it open, whoever can take it will definitely rush that Pharsa.
I agree. I think the Pharsa is of immense value. That's why I thought the Pharsa would actually be first pick, but it turns out they went for the Arlet, they went for the combo. Again, Arlet Roam, still not a big fan of it, even though Keyboy did a good job on that. Still think could have been a bit more, it could have been better with, again, the Fredgen, with the, they already have that. More damage would have, they banned it out, would have done them a bit more. But hey, it did give us game number 3 here. Oheb and Carl, we have to thank them for that. Stealing the Lord and Carl doing good things. Fanny.
So I guess it will be pretty similar. Should be the 1-1 still in one of these bans, or particularly from Team Liquid Philippines.
I think TL.
It's interesting they took out the CC here immediately too, though. So I'm guessing we'll have to look at the other heroes which haven't been as open. The game 1 had the YSS. That might be another one too. But ONIC can ban it out here. Regardless, there are still so many picks that are still open, but Hisunshin, Kalea, I'm looking at those two for Team Liquid.
You know, I'm looking at Team Liquid to maybe take a page out of Mythic Seal's book. Just rush a Lancelot if it's open for Carl, man. Just pick it up.
I think the Lancelot is a very hot commodity, maybe the hottest commodity now, especially when the Arlet's banned out. You know, there's no combo. Maybe yeah, even up against the Pharsa, I'll take Lancelot over Pharsa. In that matchup, I think it's easier for the Lancelot to get to the Pharsa. So yeah, you really have to shut the Lancelot down early for him to not do anything.
Will they actually go for that this time, though? I feel like we'll need a bit more time to set things up. By the way, I loved how JP said, "I'll invade your jungle, Kyrie," but it happened, or the complete opposite actually happened in game number 2.
Maybe this time around we'll get to see Team Liquid with a pick where he can invade the jungle a little bit more consistently. You have to temper that a bit when you're a Baksha, because once your shield unity's gone and you use that to get into the jungle, it's like a long, slow walk back to, okay, I need to get to my side of the river, but you know, you're taking so many hits. Let's see if it's going to change things up, because it's 2 games in a row now we've seen JP on a Baksha.
Actually.
Really?
Maybe 3 games in a row. Maybe he'll pull a Ken and... Pull a Ken.
Yeah, pull a Ken.
Pick same hero all 3 games.
Yeah, but you could also see how much utility the Revitalize brings to the table for the team. How much time it can buy, especially considering that they were up against a lineup that had a lot of burst and ultimates, that if you aren't able to get your target down quickly enough, a Revitalize would be great for for it. Again, we're just making sure our teams and players are set up for the best possible condition. Play this game. Again, very important. Whoever wins this qualifies for the knockout stages and will be joining Mythic Seal. And then whoever loses will not get eliminated, but will have to face off against the winner of Virtus.pro versus Corinthians.
Yes.
This is literally the last qualification match for today. Oh, it's whoever loses here, we'll go up against whoever wins against Virtus.pro or Corinthians. But this is indeed literally the last qualification match we'll be seeing today. Those who lost earlier and those or the team who will lose now at least still get to stay in the tournament, but that's gonna change when we head into our last 2 matches. But going back, okay.
Juicing gets taken out. Of course, one of the strong priorities for a lot of the teams here in MSC.
Yep.
As we wait for the bans and the picks, I think it's a good time to remind our viewers how the pickings will work later on at the end of knockout. So the 2-0 teams will pick teams who have ended the group stages with a 2-1 record. So 2-0 teams pick from the pool of 2-1 teams. There is no region or group lock, and the fastest total game time win will dictate the selection priority. So when the 2-0 teams start picking which 2-1 teams they want to go up against in the first round of knockouts, that order will be decided through fastest total game time wins. Right. So Yi Sun-shin gets taken out, and Kimmy gets taken out. Okay, so it's like Onyx low-key trying to bait the Farsa rush.
Or the Lancelot.
Or the Lancelot.
Or the Lancelot.
Or the Lancelot.
Because they took out the YSS anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it's usually on Red's side, right? Like the ban on the Yi Sun-shin.
But isn't there a slight... Oh, right, the 1-1! That was often banned out because they don't want it to end up in the hands of Severo. Now ends up in the hands of Oheb, a 1-1 that has a 100% win rate in MSC so far.
Oh.
Now I think for ONIC, this is a good pick by TL just because it confuses ONIC. They only have 2 picks here, right? And it's weird because if you want to go Farsa Lancelot, obvious prio, the Phoveus is still open. They could counter the Lancelot and just shut him down. But if you go Farsa and something else that's not Lancelot, that means it's a Lancelot for TL too, and maybe a Phoveus there.
Yeah.
So that's why the only confirmed one is Farsa. Now they're really thinking about this, like what to go for. They go for the double counter on 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy counter immediately
Should be Lance.
picked up. So could or should be Lance here. I was worried about the Phoveus too, since I feel like
Could be both of them.
can still go up against the 1-1 nonetheless.
Could be the Lance and Phoveus.
Or Team Liquid can pick it up here instead for themselves.
I think if it's not going to be the Phoveus now, I'd be quite surprised. But they don't go Lance. They're going to go for the slow front to back. They want to play around Oheb with the Fredrin in the jungle. And they go for the Lapu.
It's good to dive against the Farsa and Irithel, but playing for the 1-1 when there's already a Farsa Irithel is very difficult.
Yeah. And this puts a lot of pressure into what the mid lane pick for Sanji will be later on, because so far there's not a lot of hard catch right away for this Irithel. With how Team Liquid Philippines have built their lineup, it's sort of like a slow front to back that they want to do. But they're up against so much burst, and an Irithel they desperately need to catch. It's a huge gambit that might come back to bite them.
And ONIC can just go Lance right now. If they want to contest neutral objectives, it's still good, but they go Esmeralda first.
Why have the answers been so straight to the point?
I mean,
like
Yeb and RC, man.
Irithel to the 1-1, Lapu or Esmeralda to the Lapu-Lapu. And it's been ONIC answering these so far. Like answering these picks, countering these picks. Team Liquid Philippines, it seems like they're drafting in a way that's just according to whatever plan they had in mind heading into this game. So not entirely sure if they're fully able to consider the lineup that ONIC has right now, because the way it's looking real good.
Yeah, this Esmeralda pickup, along with the picks that they already have, they're already taking out the Selena. It's sort of like ONIC trying to bait Team Liquid Philippines into considering even pairing up their lineup with a low Yi in the mid lane. But considering they already have an Esmeralda and they take out the Karita as well, they're trying to force him like, go low Yi, go low Yi. And if that does happen, that might actually be tough for Team Liquid.
Could still be a Valentina too, right? You can steal the Feather Airstrike, try to utilize it against the Irithel. The Down gets banned out. Kyrie can still get his hands on Haya. That was banned in game number 1 with the Lancelot, so now it's open.
Hayabusa would be really good for them, considering they'll be playing a tight formation, but it's a tight formation that has one overly aggressive diver in the Lapu Lapu, which increases your chances of dealing more damage into the 1-1 and whatever the mid lane pick will be.
And if they do get the Hayabusa, though, you'll have to consider your pick if you're Sanji. Although there's a lot of pressure on your pick. Wait. So from assassin to assassin, are we actually going
to utility?
Utility.
We're back in M4, baby.
Because like right now for ONIC, they feel we already counter your carry. Like, why should we go for more carries? We can just play for the far side Irithel. If you want to play for 1-1, we'll double down on our far side Irithel instead of putting in new picks, getting in new carries.
Okay. Gatot and Valentina, there we go. I like the Gato Gacha pickup. It actually would have slotted in very well for ONIC, but Team Liquid pull it off away. At this point, Kid Boy, he can shuffle things up. He can still go for the pickoffs.
Could actually be an Akai
There's still a
Roam,
Kalea.
too.
Yeah, it could be an Akai Roam. Kalea still available. You mentioned there, Brigida. Lots of flexibility here.
Unless...
Well, they could even go Kufa and you can't blame them for it.
You're right.
Although Sanji gets to take away or copy whichever ultimate he does go for, so...
Yeah, I think ONIC have really doubled down on the
round. Okay, so it is Akai Roam.
Yeah, Akai Roam, and they bring back the Amon, which fared very well in game 1. This is dangerous for the Valentina in 1-1. Brigida, what's happening to you? She's spazzing out right now.
Oh, sorry, because the Amon into the 1-1 is like...
Yes, because
I don't want it.
You don't have Blink on 1-1. You're forced to go Inspire. You only have dashes, and that Endless Shard, it truly will be endless, and it's it's target. It's a target skill.
That Amon pick, which delivered big for ONIC in game 1, is now the final pick that could potentially launch ONIC into the knockout stages. But Team Liquid have a lineup, and they're playing around their big money gold laner in OHEB. I'm just excited to witness this titanic game number 3. It's Liquid and ONIC.
We're at the climax point of the match of the day, ladies and gentlemen, here at MSC 2025 at the Esports World Cup. The GOAT brought us to a game 3. Can he bring his team to the knockout stages, or will ONIC be able to prevail here one last time? Welcome to the Land of Dawn for the final game of the series of the match of the day, the classic fated matchup of ONIC versus TL.
It has been such a roller coaster ride for the entire series. And I bet we're all looking forward to see how it ends here and who gets to qualify following Mythic Seals in the knockouts stage. Yet again, we're surprised by the sudden Akai Roam coming in from Keyboy, but you see the idea again, you see the intention, it makes sense up against Team Liquid, who again, we've previously mentioned in the draft, clearly want to play around OHEB on this 1-1. And as you can see, he definitely has no other way to go than Inspire. So hopefully he gets to keep himself safe, because for sure the Amon in the later portions of the game is going to be a huge problem. But in as early as now, actually, I think the bigger problems are the laning matchups.
Yeah, Esmeralda just dominating the Lapu Lapu. Luffy up against Sanford. He's got to be careful, man, because Turtle 1 will be super important for both these compositions. Yeah. If ONIC were able to come back with this composition in game 1, what can they do with a lead?
It's gonna be very tight for Sanford to get out, or to try and get out of his lane. Because again, the first few objectives are going to matter a lot. That's a pull yourself together for OHEB, by the way, on the 1-1. So we're seeing the need for the Inspire to be available often for him. It's clearly an escape mechanism, but also a way for him to survive, because you amplify your lifesteal once you get hold of your Inspire. This is going to be an immediate burst on the Turtle though, for Team Liquid. So Onyx ID, maybe they feel like they don't need to do much just yet. It's a clear advantage for them lineup-wise anyway, and even wherever you look at the map.
Yep. There's no real reason to, you know, force out neutral objectives when you can't, and when you're in a position where you're not strong enough. This is the thing about the Akai Roam. You are very good, I think, Turtle 2 onwards. Turtle 1, pretty mid, pretty bad, actually. Because without the ultimate, you're useless. Straight up on the Akai. You need that ultimate, especially up against a Valentino who can just steal it away once he gets level 4 for Turtle 1.
Yeah, I think the only thing I personally do like about the Akai in the early stages of the game too is the amount of damage he can actually bring out against anyone who he sees on the map. But from Team Liquid, I feel like they just are very cautious about where they position themselves at this point. It's very important for them to get through the laning stage because they're clearly playing at a disadvantage. You see how Sanford is clearly being dominated here by Lutfi even. It's great to see that he's actually keeping up in terms of EXP. He got to level 6 first even, up against Lutfi on the Esmeralda, but no action happening just yet. Sanji though really low. Okay. That was a flicker.
Explosive mid lane matchup we expected between the two final MVPs of their own region, Sans and Sanji. Keyboy able to escape. Flicker for flicker, but it will be faster for Sans. Pull yourself together. So that needs to be a point that we have to remember in the next fight.
Yeah, no heavy spins just yet from Keyboy. So that's something we're also looking forward to see in the coming matches. But again, the next hurdle is gonna spawn here down the bottom. Kairi still taking his orange buff, and CarlTzy seems like he just wants to take it all for himself all over again. ONIC are already nearby, but Sanford and Sanji, San duo pinned down Savero. That's gonna be first blood. They also look for Sanji on the other side of the map, and CarlTzy gets the turtle.
A disaster for ONIC. Lutfi gets away with Falling Star Moon. They lose out Turtle 2. Liquid are pushing with their lead now, 2-0. No kill on Oheb just yet, but yeah, crazy pick from Sanji. Knows that Savero doesn't have Purify. Could have been greedy on his part, but he kind of needs it too. He needs that mobility up against this kind of composition that wants to dive on him.
Yeah,
But ONIC will just play slow.
That was such a great call.
Amazing call.
He literally used the heavy spin in that spot, which denied ONIC of whatever the intentions they had of wanting to contest for that objective. And this is a pretty interesting take to, or in terms of our expectations looking at the draft, because Team Liquid, after those two objectives, even without a massive team fight breaking out just yet in this game, they've already established and secured the lead for themselves.
Oof. JP walked up, trying to go for the taunt. Yeah. Now for Liquid, it's again just the waiting game. They know that they are very strong around team fights when it comes to neutral objectives just because they also have the Akai ult, right? Yeah. It's not just Keyboy who has the Akai ult, and Sanji knows that that is the more important ult to take over the Feather Airstrike. And man, even without the Feather Airstrike, almost got a solo on Sans.
Our mid laners are very aggressive in this game.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like they see no one else but themselves. Brave Spider coming in from Sanford might actually get to take down Lutfi through the help of CarlTzy. Sanji too nearby if ever they needed help, but they didn't need any help anymore.
Nope, Sanford does enough damage, especially when CarlTzy is there to pin Lutfi down. Kairu's gonna walk up, Sanji sees it, runs away. Clean game for TLPH, are really winning. Keyboy!
Oh, that's a beautiful catch onto two members, though. CarlTzy goes in, energy reaction onto two, and the AOG from JP. Oheb finally finds Keyboy, endless shots. Committed up Sanji, but he dodges it. Now Sanford with a stun onto Kairi. And 6-0 kill score for Team Liquid.
TLPH got the lead early, and they're running with it. They're running ONIC ID down. Even in the counter matchup for Savero, yes, he counters the 1-1, but what is he going to do against the CC of Team Liquid, the jump constant ones? You saw him locked down. He got out of the first CC, then the AOG from GP locked him down again. You beat the 1-1 through mobility, but what can you do when your mobility is severely halted by Team Liquid's CC? We're seeing the old Stampede of the past.
Yeah. This does remind us of the Liquid Stampede. That signature playstyle you know of the Cavalry, and it's not looking too good for Savero that you mentioned. 0-0 on the Irithel for a supposedly winning lane matchup. So it's gonna take a lot more time for him to actually rack up on those items, on those goals. He's actually 2K behind OHEB in this point of the game. So we clearly see how Team Liquid have been able to play around this lineup. That sprint was also used a couple of times, but not even the sprint was enough to keep him safe. No, oh, another heavy spin coming in from Keyboy might actually get the kill onto JP, and on the other hand, Sanji, they actually find Lutfi. There's the crossbow of Tang, however, and Keyboy too.
Wait!
He will find himself taken down by OHEB.
Was actually pretty dangerous there. Kai walks back up now. TL with a massive win again. Ooh. Dude, it's almost like he sees Kai and he's like, no. Walks up, gets a stun!
It's like an automatic trigger on the bravest fighter. Sanji,
Oh
no dodges there!
No.
Airstrike, but there's a flicker from Sans!
Oh my lord.
Oh
We're seeing so many battles across the board. This is a 6,000 gold lead for TL, but ONIC are somehow still fighting back, making it close sometimes. OHEB again. But he went for the crossbow. Tang was close. The crossbow.
He's alone, he's alone.
Got it just in time there. But Carl's just 2-tag. He can do whatever he wants.
He doesn't
right
care.
Now. He can do gold things.
He can do gold things. He can use the energy eruption on any target he sees. And Onyx ID,
They have to scale.
they have to scale. They're a bit hesitant at this point, but it's understandable as to why.
Here we go. Amon's appearance at MSC. Amon currently posts a 71% win rate in 7 games throughout MSC history. Two of those what?
We're from Kyrie.
We're from Kai.
And
All
a
right.
100% win rate.
Well, that could be the end of the 100% win rate for Kai as TL secure the Lord. First Lord of the game over to TL. So far, all the objectives going to TL.
There's something going on between these mid laners.
Oh, we know there's something going on. They've had something going on since M4. It's been a long time rivalry between these two.
Sanji on this Valentina, he finds Sans the first time, and whenever Sans has his eyes set on Sanji, he burns the fettered airstrike. Even the flicker at times, he willingly does all that, because I do feel like Sanji too has been a very important factor in the game, in the way they're able to carry out their team fights despite that disadvantage we've been talking about in terms of the draft. Because whatever Sanji does, it's always the heavy spin that turns things around for Team Liquid. It's always that counter engage coming in from them that somehow wins them the fight, but the holy shields are about to go down.
And it will go down in the bottom lane, defending from the Lord. Now in the mid lane, TL capitalizing on that, pushing it in. ONIC doing a good job at holding the wave from hitting the holy shield. And comes back to TL again, playing things super slow. Look at the goal difference by SNB, 8.5k for TL. So really no unnecessary risks needed for TL. They can just constantly dive in. Sanford, bravest fighter.
Oh, is this gonna be a successful attempt? Actually just goes away and tries to disengage, but CarlTzy, he does seem like he actually wants more. And that's the thing. Team Liquid, now that they're in this position, they cannot afford to make any mistakes similar to the previous games, similar to what they've been doing in MPL Philippines Season 15. And speaking of that, they find it onto Lumpy!
Huh? Where did Lumpy go? Team Liquid! They snatched him. They put him in his pocket. Where did he go? Dude, that's the tankiest dude on the team, right? That's Esmeralda, right?
But Esmeralda.
Okay, I guess Keyboy's tankier, but
on a 0-3.
0-3, yeah. Oh.
Okay. On a 0-3, and the matchup was against a Lapu-Lapu. So this should have been an okay situation for Lutfi, but the manner in which Team Liquid just carried it out through pure macro decision-making in the early stages of the game. This is really impressive from the Cavalry.
Incredibly impressive, and for Team Liquid, they also have learned from Game 1. It was a bit too scrappy despite the lead, so they toned it down. We know TL are a very aggressive team, yes. But like they said in the interview, what they really shine most with is early game aggression into macro plays, utilizing that lead to just win it out simple. So here, Team Liquid are doing exactly that. They are en route to closing this game, and the only shot that ONIC have at coming back with a 10,000 gold lead on Team Liquid, really would just be on a Liquid mistake. I cannot see ONIC even forcing out big plays anymore. It's a passive roam pick on Keyboy. Not much engage on XP. Sanford!
Oh, goes for Sabero, forces the heavy crossbow, but the stun lands onto Lutfi still. This time around, though, they won't be able to burst him down like a while ago. So Onyx ID will still have all 5 members for this upcoming defense.
Here we go. 11,000 gold lead building up. Liquid Stampede running wild on Onyx ID here. Sanji's feeling it, walks up the face, dashes forward, splashes Onyx with damage. And the Lord is still coming in. TL, let's see what wave, how they decide to tackle this siege. What kind of wave manipulation do they end up doing? Is it just gonna be the 3-wave? No. I think it's a hold on bot. Yeah, it's a slow push on bot as they push in mid and top first. Let's see how this works out.
Yeah, they're gonna sync up the waves, and they all have their utilities and battle spells intact. So Onyx ID will have to be very particular in how they defend this. But Kyrie, he might have put himself in a very difficult spot. Gets taken down by Sanford, and there goes the AOG from JP. There's a flicker from Keyboy. Somehow keeps himself alive, but not even the damage from Severo is enough.
Sanford, too good at video games. Gets it down, Carl.
Oh, will they still actually try to fight this? Because even right under